this is Jeff Veale, the business guru. Happy to say I'm back in downtown Manila after 2 weeks in Malaysia. It was fun. It was exciting. I put on about 10 kilos in weight. They took me out for dinner and lunch every day. But on with the show. We've got an awesome guest today. This lady has been there and done it. So that's the people I want to work with, people who have been there and done it. Lovely lady by the name of Carole Hodges. Carole is a tongue twister. Get it out, Jeff. Transformational coach, igniting midlife. Life Change Navigator is a company name. Personal coaching for women 50 plus, and if you're younger than that and you're stuck, reach out to this lady. She's been doing this for over 20 years, guys. You know, she's out to help anyone, even you men out there. She can teach you a thing or two as well. Brief description: I show accomplished women how to ignite their energy and make the next chapter of their lives their crowning achievement. Like myself, guys, she hasn't got a job. This lady's got a passion, and you'll see that when we talk to her. Key achievements or projects: best-selling author of The Menopause Millionaire. So you ladies out there, that's the signal for you. It's time to start making some money. Keys to prosperity and meaning in the second half of your life. And how true is that, guys? You're 50, if you're going to go to 90, you're only at the halfway mark. Don't forget that. You're at base camp. You've still got to climb that mountain, right? And distinguished Toastmaster, top salesperson in technology. Personal motto of philosophy: life's an adventure, so make it a great one. How true is that? Interesting fact about herself: 2 years ago, her house was destroyed in a fire. She's told me all about that. We had a chat earlier. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Carole. How are you today, Carole?
I'm very well, and I love your energy.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a passion. They call it a passion. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to start all those years ago doing what you do.
Well, I didn't know I was starting this when I started.
Right, that's it.
And I will say that because I work with, women, particularly in that last chapter of their life, one of the things that I did that I encourage other people to do is look back and connect the dots. How did you get where you are?
Why?
I mean, I started out with an English philosophy major. And then I was in business with my ex-husband. I ran a wind park for a while.
Wow.
A variety of things. And then single year of my world fell apart and got a divorce, bankruptcy, and my oldest daughter took her life.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
So that was a start over point.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I had been interested in theater. So I did musical theater.
Fantastic.
25 years in there, loved being in front of audiences. And I think that's where the passion comes from, because there is nothing like it when you are in front of an audience and there's an energy.
Yeah, buzz.
Sometimes, if you've never done it, sometimes people think it's all about wanting to be seen and all about me. No. There is something when you're experiencing something together.
Connect the words. Yes.
And so then I have always been interested in technology, which is a good thing, because as we know today, technology has gone wild.
Yeah.
But I was doing video conferencing for MCI. I was a specialist with them and part of an engineering group, the International Multimedia Telecommunications Consortium. But after my divorce and starting over, I realized that there were two of us there, and I thought, I think I need to find out more about myself. I got into personal development at that point, and as things often happen, I had 3 people mention going to a landmark education forum weekend, and these 3 people did not know each other. Independently, they came to me and said, I think this would be right for you. So I went, and that was the beginning.
The catalyst.
I learned coaching. I've been many different modalities. Neurolinguistics programming, understanding personality styles. I created a program that was for husbands and wives to work together. because I recognized that psychology just didn't have it. They didn't understand the business part.
Sure.
And then more recently, and this was after my house burned, I got the message. I tell you, I was sitting there watching my house burn, and all of a sudden, the people were out safe, the animals were out safe, but I looked at my husband and said, I can't explain this, but I have this sense of peace coming over me. And he said,
again.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I realized it was like spirit coming in and saying, hey, stop what you're doing. So I did. And then I ended up getting another certification in coaching because something called me. And you'll appreciate this since you're wearing a cap that says living the dream. This is called dream building.
Yeah, lovely.
And all of a sudden, what I got from it, it was about frequency. And I began to understand everything I have ever heard about any kind of personal development. It's all saying the same thing. In other words, we're all looking for the same path. I happen to say it in my way.
Yes.
Other coaches may say it in their way. With 8 billion people on the planet, every single one of us is needed. I have no idea. I can't coach 1 billion people. I'll just coach the ones that are right for me. So I love working with other coaches because I see we all have a common mission, which is really to help people understand what I'm calling the human life adventure game. And I call it that because here we have technology. We know quantum physics, that everything's connected. But guess what? We are here on this planet, and each one of us is looking through just our own set of eyes.
Yeah, correct.
No two of us will ever have the same perspective in life. And I teach people to look at their lives and say, wow, isn't it amazing when you look at your life and you see how did all these things come together? And you realize you're here for a purpose. And it was set before you came. But it's up to each of us to find it and just live fully.
Well, I call living the dream. I tell people you can either live your dream or work all your life and make someone else's dream. That's your choice, right? What's been the most challenging aspect of your work over the years, and how have you overcome that?
Well, I find it's not so much my work that's been challenging. My life has been challenging.
Sure, all of us,
yeah. Because as I say, it was it's been some of the big challenges in my life that have shifted me. And in my work, I find that there's no real challenges. The right people are coming to me, and if they're not right for me, I make sure that they get to someone who can help them. I am not the expert in everything and for everybody, but I love talking to other coaches and making sure that people are served.
Yeah. Tell me some important moment in your career where you pivoted. Where was that aha moment? Apart from the fire, what other aha moments where you sort of said, "Oh, this is where I'm meant to be"? Like that's where you've ended up today. When was that pivotal moment, do you think?
Multiples of them. I think I mentioned it in my book, The Menopause Millionaire. I do talk about the one time of my life where I lost my oldest two daughters to suicide and a complete bankruptcy, chapter 7, and a divorce. And I didn't even realize it was all within 1 year.
Goodness.
And I started a new job in technology 2 weeks after my daughter's funeral. Now, that wasn't the recognition, but later I look back and I say, okay, everything was meant for me to shift. And I did, and created an entirely new life that I wouldn't have had I been in the same place. So to me, this has been a growing aha, which finally has just reached me and say, this makes sense for every person out there to be aware of who you are inside and what you're here for, and just live that. No shying back. Be yourself. You have a mission.
Interesting that they happened all in the same year. Looking back to me, I would think to myself, if there's any good to come out of it, that's a good thing that they didn't happen like then again, then again. Those three, incidences over the 1 year, they made you who you are today. They made you a stronger and better person, no doubt.
Yeah. I learned I was much stronger than I even had any idea. So I had 2 other children. Initially I took that job right away because I needed to buy groceries.
Yeah.
So, but I learned, and I learned that I'm responsible for the vision that I put in the world.
Yeah. It's meant to be. It's up to me. Is my motto. In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills? You're a real people person. What are the key qualities or skills that have contributed to your amazing success?
The ability to listen closely.
You've got good empathy. Yeah, you got the spades.
And to ask questions and have people go within themselves, because many people have never asked themselves the questions to find their way.
Yes.
But the ability to ask questions, to listen, and to really encourage people to take that risk. It's thinking unconventionally.
Absolutely.
But it's your journey. It's wonderful. I think that sometimes people, they have self-doubt, and that's when they're comparing themselves to others. There's no self-doubt if you recognize you're only here to be you.
Trust your gut. I learned that later in life. Trust your gut, guys. It's your body talking. It's your second brain. If you get a feeling about something, hey, I should be traveling, get a passport, start traveling. It's trust your gut, because your gut's telling you something. Your body, when your body hurts, it's telling you something. If you've got a pain in your knee, something's wrong. Go and get it checked out. Your gut's exactly the same, right? Tell me, how do you stay motivated and contribute to innovate in your field, Carole? What's your secret?
I think it's not really a secret. I can't stop myself.
Yeah, you're like me. Just wake up and go.
I'm inspired by very many things. They're in a narrow area, I will admit. I still love new technology, although now it's going so fast, it makes me a little crazy.
Hard to keep up. Yeah, I agree.
But I have always been curious, and I've not known much about astrology, but I'm a Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of transformation.
You're the best. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, and I realize.
Let me tell you something very quickly.
I was born to do this.
Go into a room. Just try this one out. Go into a room of 10 people. Start talking about astrology, and then just say, "I'm the best." And I tell you, the one who speaks up says, "No, you're not. I am." That's a Scorpio. It works every time. So there's something in that.
You will love this, because being a Scorpio, I married a man, we have the same birthday. Wow. November 5th is our birthday. So we got married on that day too.
Fantastic. I'm just
we are a pretty intense couple.
Absolutely. I can imagine. Who's the boss? Pretty cool. Only Scorpios understand it. It's like this, guys, in my opinion. It's Scorpios, Leos who think they're as good as Scorpios, they're not. And then there's nobody. It's just Scorpios and Leos are so far ahead of the field, it's not funny. But look into it, guys. There's definitely something in it, I guarantee you. Right?
My son is a Leo, so thank you.
Yeah, there you go. You know it. You understand. If they think they're a Scorpio, but they're not. Tell us a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of, Carole.
I am really proud to be working with someone who is also a coach in her own industry. And in working together, she's discovered more productivity,
yes,
more clarity. All of a sudden, as she became clearer, she found she was accomplishing things faster. And also, I'm very proud of the fact also of realizing that sometimes you'd think that somebody had saved up for retirement, actually knew how it all worked. And I'm finding I have a background also in working in the financial industry, and I do not tell people where to put their money, but I will say pay attention to your money. And I began to realize that this was something for me to add and explore,
Yes.
because moving from having a paycheck and twice a month, every other week, you get a paycheck
Yes.
in, and then suddenly you may have saved up money, but how do you transition into this time of spending it so it's not too fast,
Sure.
of growing it without risk, of what do you do? And I thought, I recognize I need to add that in because so many have not thought about it. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and mine is really to be of service, to be sure that they are asking the right questions and growing there. There's no hidden thing where suddenly I'm going to want to manage your money. I don't do that. No, it's just heightened awareness, because that's an important part of the second half of life.
Well, your books are pretty amazing too, my friend. That's amazing. How long ago did you produce your book?
Well, this, and I'll put it
Not
right up in
bad.
front of you.
Nice. Good colours too. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it.
So I wrote this in 2022. A lot of people are going through COVID, and I wrote a book.
Fantastic.
And and calling it the Menopause Millionaire,
I think great
what
title.
I
Great title.
realize, it's not about getting rich,
No, it's about life.
but honestly, if these days $1 million is not a lot of money.
No,
If you plan to retire sometime,
that's
a
your house.
million dollars is not a lot of money. And so it's taking people through all the same things that I coach in, which is your health and well-being. How do you pay attention to that?
Yeah.
And relationships. And here, I just had a friend buy my book today who is starting to date, the second half of life after 50, which I did. And dating when you're later in life is a very different thing than when I was
Absolutely.
under 20 to
Especially,
date the first time.
especially if you've been married for 20 years and you're back in the scene again, you wouldn't have a clue.
So I talk about that, the importance of cementing your relationship. If you're married, it's a time to reevaluate when kids are grown and
Sure.
things have changed. And then also money, things to look at, understand what's in alignment with you and where you are, and then creating that vision and having a purpose. So my book walks through all of those.
Fantastic. We'll make a note of that later. Looking ahead, um, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You're only at base camp still. Where are you going? What's on the horizon?
Well, I have another book in the works,
Fantastic.
and
Fantastic.
I would really love this to get out to a very wide audience, because it is about understanding that this is a human life adventure game.
Love it.
This is about understanding our individual
Yeah, that's right.
task in coming here, and also to understand how we are connected.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we forget about that in this world, because there's so much, I
Noise.
think, around the world. There's us and them.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And I
government's
say
not going to save you
it's
either, guys.
understanding.
Yeah. No one's going to save you, guys. Let me tell you. As Caroline, she's been through the mill. No one's going to save you. You've got to save yourself. That's my message for you today, guys. Save yourself. No one cares more than you care. Right? It's that simple. Um, I missed one here. What was the one I missed? Yeah, a 20-year-old version of you. So someone, your niece, your daughter, 20-year-old version of you comes along and says, I've just finished uni. What should I do with myself? What would you tell them?
I'd say what's in your heart.
Yeah, true.
I've done musical theater because it was in my heart, and
Yeah,
got
I
on
mean,
stage
yeah,
and
passion. Yeah.
sang and danced. I have taken every step along the way in following my heart,
Uh-huh.
and even when it didn't make sense at the time, but I can get to this later in life and look back and say, I was guided. It all made sense.
Absolutely. You're on a journey, guys. Trust me, you're on a journey. And I'm 77, guys, and my family all live to 100. So I've got to keep working. Otherwise I'm going to run out of money. So, but it's fun. It's not work. It's fun. It's a passion, and that's what Carole's got in spades. Carole, how can our listeners and people watching this amazing podcast? What's the best way to contact you and have a chat and see if you can help them and put them on a self-discovery journey? What's the best way to go about that? How do they contact you?
Well, I would say if you're on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Carole Hodges, you will find me on
Easy.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And if you are on the internet, these are all indications of the name Life Change Navigator, because I actually sailed, and that was the boat that I
Yeah.
sailed on.
I was thinking about that, looking at those. You're a true Scorpio. We're water people, guys. We love water, right? Scorpios love
Yes.
water, you know. So that's it.
So those would be the best ways.
Yeah.
If you're then in the United States and you'd like my daily inspiration, I can give you a phone number. I know that won't work all around the world,
Yep. Let's hear that
but
phone
in
number.
okay, because it's +1,
Yeah.
and it's 760
Okay.
330 4568.
Fantastic. All right. Before we let you go, you got to tell us a fun. You told us a lot, so tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people do not know.
Well, here's where I started out, and most people do not know this. I was a 3-time homecoming queen. So,
Funny enough, you say that. I thought to myself, you look like a cheerleader. Honest to God, you know, you look the part. You know, you really do.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
so yeah, and it didn't give me any advantages in life, but it made
No,
me be okay with being seen.
yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't do any harm for your outlook on life either. Like you know, to be feted and put up there on a pedestal, so to speak. You know, I had a motivational speaker when I was 8, like Tony Robbins. How lucky was I? My stepfather was the man, and he'd come in every morning before I went to school and comb my hair. And every morning I got the same speech, and it was this: "Shit, you're an ugly kid." I go, oh wow, I'm so motivated. Now I'm going to rush off to school. I got that speech every day. Uh,
Wow.
but yeah,
And look how you turned out. You're always
absolutely.
smiling.
Absolutely. I just laugh at them. You know, I always had confidence. I'm a Scorpio. You know, you laugh at these people because you know you can achieve anything you want to achieve, folks. That's the message today. Carole, thanks for being on the show. You've been an awesome guest. And guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, just like Carole, it's just like talking to a friend. Reach out. Let's have some fun. We're going to put you across Quora, Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook, our Facebook group of 6,500 business people, and of course YouTube with all your social media links, potentially putting you in front of hundreds of prospect guys. And remember, it's evergreen. You can keep posting it and posting it and posting it till the cows come home. It's all about you and your journey. So once again, Carole, you've been an awesome guest. Any last words for our audience?
Well, what I always say is life is an adventure. Make it a great one.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks, Carole, for being here. You're wonderful.
Thank you, Jeff.